trusting God. The thing about life and the reality of who we are as people is that we don't really trust God the way we say and we want to portray that we really do. I think we give God really good lip service. Like we'll get into the temples, the church buildings, and we'll say, God, I trust you. I trust you with my whole life. I trust you with everything. And then when we walk out the doors and life really hits us, your lip service of trusting God is really put into play because you now have to show that you trust God. Because you'll go from a place of receiving this promise and then now having to live this promise out and go through the different obstacles that play along with this promise. Even for me, this is my story in my life and my journey of how I have to literally remind myself of the promises of God and tell myself each and every day that God, I trust you. God, I believe you, even though it doesn't seem like it's playing out the way I need it to play out. Things aren't lining up the way they said that they're supposed to line up. But I have to go and remember your promise. And I have to continue to keep pushing and going each and every day. So now I move past lip service to this is actually a lifestyle of, Lord, I am going to trust you. No matter what I'm dealing with or going through. Because believe it or not, life is not easy. And you have your ups and you have your downs. That's one thing that God always says. You will have trials and you will have tribulations. And you can't always think life is perfect. I know on social media, it's portrayed that it's perfect. But in each and every person, everybody has a journey and a story that they're dealing through and that they're going through. When you think about the Bible story of Joseph, Joseph had the gift of interpreting dreams. God gave him a dream and told him, one day, this is what you're going to do. Your family will come down and bow and worship before you. Joseph had a promise over his life that he would one day be great. He went and he shared his dream. His brothers, his own brothers, took him and they sold him into slavery. Think about Joseph. He went from, Lord God, you gave me this promise, and one day I'm going to be great. So now that promise being played out, and for him to get to that promise, his brothers sold him into slavery. How do you think Joseph felt in this moment? God, I trust you. Now I'm sold into slavery. How is this possible? How is my purpose and my vision supposed to be lived out when I'm been sold into slavery? And not only that, I'm going to work in the palace. Then I get thrown out of the palace. Now Joseph is in the pit. Now he's in jail. And he was not in there for a couple of days. He was in there for a couple of years. But even in the midst of that, he still had to trust God because God gave him a promise over his life of what he'll do and what he'll be. And Joseph went from the pit to one day occupying the place and the position that God had promised over his life. But he had to continue each and every day to stand firm on trusting God regardless of whatever the obstacle was and what he was dealing with and what he was going through. Today, I'm just here to encourage you. Is to make Jesus your exception and make God your exception to trust him. Trust him with your life. Move past lip service and live out the promise and the plan that he has for your life. You will have your ups and you will have your downs. But just like Joseph, continue to keep pushing. Continue to keep going and continue to keep trusting God. God will do exactly what he said that he would do if you will only continue to activate your belief in him and his promises. Hope you guys have a great day today. Keep pushing and make God your exception. Have a great day.
You are the only exception. You